So now we have two windows open. In one we have a project where we defined the opening time widget, and then with File, Open New Window, we opened new Pinegrow window, and here we will create a new project where we will use the opening time component. Let's go new page and let's select Bootstrap blocks. And let's save the page, that's always a good idea. Yummy restaurant, it will be for our new Yummy restaurant. Yes, open the project. And now let's go to lib and we can add some content. Let's add a place where we will display the opening times. Okay, we'll show it here. So the first thing we have to do is add the library to the project. So if we can see the Proteus opening times is already listed here, but let's unload it. What to do when it's not yet listed. So we go here and we say load component library, and we select the folder of the project where the component was defined. And now we see it here, and then we have to activate it. And when we activate it, Pinegrow asks us if we want to copy the library resources to this page or to the project. So our project only has one page now, so it doesn't matter. Let's select this one. And now the CSS files and JavaScript files required by opening times were added to the page. We can see here the JavaScript and CSS should be in the head. And if we check the lib, we can see that our component is here, waiting to be used. So let's drag it into the column. And here it is. Delete this button, we don't need it. And just like before, we can go ahead and we can edit all the editable fields or the editable classes like we did in previous two videos. So now let's see what happens if we go back to the definition and we change it. So again, let's switch from US calendar to European one and move Sunday to the end of the week. Then we update the component and save the files. And if we go back to this project and do update here, nothing happens. The reason for that is that the opening times widget is loaded as an external library. And we have to first say components, refresh loaded libraries. So now Pinegrow got the most recent definition of the component, and now if we say update, our component definition changed. So now what if we want our new opening times widget to be independent of the definition? Maybe we don't want that whenever we update the library, we don't want that our widget will change as well. So there are two good ways to do that. The first one is a simple one. We just select component instance, we go to act, and or actually we have three ways of doing that. So one way is simply to remove use component action. So now this is just HTML as far as Pinegrow is concerned. We don't know from where it comes, we don't know that this is the instance of a component. So if we do the update, nothing will happen. And we can freely change this widget without worrying that our changes will be overwritten when we update the project. So the second way is that we select Don't Update checkbox. And this will let us change everything, regardless whether it is editable area or not, and updates or changes of component definition will not affect our widget. And the third way is useful when we want to still keep the component but have it defined within this project. So, for example, let's imagine we'll have 5 restaurants and we will have 5 pages with this widget. So we still want to keep it as a component, but not defined by external library. So let's create a new page. It can be just a plain Bootstrap page. Let's call it library. Go to the library. And let's activate our add. Okay. And now let's select container. Instead of just dragging it to the container, let's right click and say duplicate definition. And then here we have to give it new ID, so let's say Yummy opening time, and we have it here in the update, and this is no longer opening time from our external library, but it is a component defined within our project. Let's give it a name. And now if we want to change this, this is still the instance of the external opening time. So if we want to change it to our Yummy restaurant opening time, let's generate the image. You know how to do it, right? So select the component, actions, take photo. So here it is. Let's go to index. So if we want to change this instance to become the instance of our Yummy opening time, we just select it, and then in Act panel we change the ID of the use component action. So here we'll just change PT into Yummy, because that's the ID of our component. And once we did that, we can even remove the opening times library from this project, just deactivate it. And if we check the lib panel now, we only have our locally defined Yummy opening time. So this was a quick introduction of how to create components, how to manage them, what are the options for updating, how to use them in same project where they are defined, how to use them as libraries in external projects. So there's a lot more to components, so the best way to learn about them is to check out our other tutorials documentation and to play around and take them for a spin.